maybe clarify.
Candidate form.
You have sound now?
I don't have permission.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay. Okay, you have sound now.
You're all set.
Yes, sir. Good.
All right, it's 9 o'clock, to call the Lake County Commissioners Board order this Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, and that's been call the roll.
Judge Gray,
Here.
Commissioner Weir, Commissioner Eager,
Here.
Commissioner Eastman,
Here.
Commissioner Riley.
Here.
Please join us in pledging allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for the invocation. We lost one of our families this weekend. Irene Brown. Ben Avalon is in the hospital with stroke and intensive care. Let's observe a moment of silence for them. Dear loving Father, we thank you for the lives of everyone present here. We thank you for the goodness and blessings over our lives. We thank you for all the achievements and accomplishments. We thank you for new relationships and all new things. You do great for us every day. We commit ourselves into your mighty hands. Bless the work of our hands. May we experience your goodness in greater proportions than we can imagine. Grant us our heart's desires and let your favor be upon us this day and all the days of our lives through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Item one of your agenda is
I think we got it.
I'd like to move to dispense with reading the minutes and accept the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Reed for discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. Motion carries. Item two, there are no line item transfers. Item three, and so we move to item three. The bills.
Make a motion to approve the outstanding bills in the amount of $659,100.80.
Second.
Mr. Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. Motion carries. Item four, Ms. Jones. Presentation by Ms. Rose Jones regarding the Island Lakes Family Processing.
Which is one job for in Berkeley County. We're going into the Commissioners Court to make sure that everyone gets their reports. And, I'm hoping, I see that you have received them. So, the only thing that I have, are there any questions about anything you read?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. The only thing that I really wanted to say about Waco County is that, we have gotten some numbers this year, 2024. Sheriff's Office, Police Department. That we really need some more numbers. We did have, Mr. Costa, who did come back last minute. Which was wonderful. And, so I'm gonna be talking to him some more, but, it's just the numbers for, that have to go, you guys know, there's a big issue with the state. By December 1, and that's where we are.
The sheriff's in the back there, so I guess I could ask him, because one of the people I'm gonna ask you about is his spouse, but I thought we had a couple of, RNs going through the program to be SAR certified.
Really, I did not know about that.
Maybe you can know that. Also, there's a, community services, you can really find it, County Community Services brochure put out. So, I was looking at it. Weekend, I couldn't find a real. Have you looked at it?
The services packet are good, no, I have not.
There's lines and lines and lines and lines of services, and there's even lines of services about this particular subject. But I didn't find a real good, a real intuitive link if somebody had, for example, just been assaulted, or just assaulted, that's what we call that. But I didn't see a real great connection between you all and that brochure. So either I missed it or it's not jumped up.
Well, we actually, the commissioners are in control of our SAR. But we have banded together with the communities underneath the 3 commissioners' courts. And what we do is if a call comes in for sexual assault, it is the police officer or sheriff's officer or whoever has taken the call will call the centers. There were I'm sure you do know that it's set up in here in Johnson City, the CRC. We do have a center. Brady comes out there, which are the same nurses. They've done a really good job. And so far, they have told us, even though I don't know what's going on with it, that the building and the room is still, that we can still have that room.
I'm sure of that because I'm on the board of the directors of the people that are purchasing it.
Okay.
And that room stays.
Okay, so that is really coming handy. I mean, almost been here in this area. We will be called. I don't know, in the crisis center. We are open 24/7. We are on call 24/7, each of us, but at a time. And we get calls when there is one to tell us that they do have a victim, and we will go and meet them at where they're having, wherever the site is going to be. If it's going to be CRC in Johnson City, if it's going to be our we have to take them to Burnet to see the center, and then the CRC in Kingsland now also has a room for us.
But you're saying nurse, that's the sexual assault nurses. What's the N stand for? Say SANE. It's
Sexual assault nurse
That's
examiner.
what I said.
Yes,
You're saying nurse is coming from out of county, right?
correct.
And that's what I was asking you originally. And I thought we had a couple of candidates that were going through all kinds of training in county. And I'm not sure if they've been utilized or if they're not finished, or maybe you can run that down, and the sheriff would be the first person I would ask.
I will show you that. That is wonderful to hear. I did not know that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So, and maybe things have gone slower than I thought. That's okay. That's great to hear that you've got a program and the program is still active.
Oh, definitely. We all meet 4 times a year, quarterly, and talk about how we all can work together, more. We just have some more communication that needs to be made between us, but
So short of questions from commissioners, you're hoping for an acceptance of your biannual report.
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll sit here and wait for a motion.
I move to accept the biennial report from Regional STAR Team of Rose Jones, for the Highland Heights Family Crisis.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Leesman, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jones. You're doing special work. Let's see, Ms. Early. Pass it or refer?
Let's come back to it, please.
Move to item 6. We're gonna move to item 7. Renewal of the lease for the offices, the exception department offices. The lands.
Make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign the renewal lease for the office space in the old annex for agriculture and septic department pending county attorney approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Tree plant. Commissioner Weir,
All right.
Dr. J.
Okay. Okay, this is a pretty normal replat for Rocky J. There, I don't see any issues with easements or anything that needs to change. So I'd like to move to approve the replat for lots 36 and 37 in the Rocky J subdivision. The new lot to be known as Lot 36A.
Is there a second? Mr. Eager, discussion.
Excuse me.
Judge, I gotta put one more line.
Sorry.
Pending receipt of recorded release of the easement from the easement.
All right, we'll incorporate that into your motion and ask the board to incorporate in your second.
Yes.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 9.
Okay, we have another one approximate, and it's pretty typical again. So I would like to move to approve the replat of lots 75 and 76 in Rocking J subdivision. The new lot to be known as 75R.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 10, which is really the reason we scheduled this meeting today. Because we had to wait this long for the time period. Item 10 are bids on materials. Now, there's 3 envelopes up here that I don't know about, and there's a bunch of envelopes in here.
The ones on the table came in this morning.
Are they materials or are they the other?
This was item 11. Those are item 13.
Okay, so this is item 10. Item 10, and these are the bids.
Better work on that before deer season, really, because the effect, huh? Okay, first one is from Vulcan Materials. Vulcan Materials. They bid type D coal lake, $78 a ton. And 1.5 base at $12 a ton and 3/4 base at $12.75 a base. The transport, I advise all bidding people to put as Johnson City as their transport destination. So on their COLA, they used 43.27, and on their inch and a half, they used 1260, and 3/4 was 1260. This one is from Armadillo Materials. This is out of the West Henley plant, and they bid inch and a half base and 3/4 base, inch and a half base at $10, and $8.97 for transport, 3/4 base at $9 and $8.97 as transport. This bid is from Wright Asphalt. They used CRS 2 as $2.05. And then CSS 1H at $2.05. Both of those with the $1,750 transport. And then they added a TR fog at $2.50 at $1,750 a transport, which that was not on the spec sheet. This bid is from Texas Materials. And they have a type D coal lay at $84 a ton with $550 per ton, 12-ton minimum transport. Then they have grade 4 paving rock at $33.10 a ton, grade 5 at $33.10, inch and a half base at $7 a ton, 3/4 base at $7 a ton. This is from Green Dream International LLC. They bid grade 3 paving rock at $45.60 per ton, grade 4 at $39.90 per ton, grade 5 at $34.20 per ton, inch and a half base at $7.98 per ton. Their transport was on the grade on paving rock at $10.26 per ton. The inch and a half base is $11.40 per ton. This one is from Argonne Asphalt. They were at $2.40 per gallon for CRS 2. CSS 1H was at $2.45, and AEP was at $3.30 each. The CRS 2 and the CSS 1H were both at $1,155 a load, and then the AEP was at $1,450 a load. And this was Armadillo Materials, and this is out of the Johnson City plant. Grade 4 paving rock was at $30.50 a ton. Grade 5 paving rock was at $27.50 a ton. Inch and a half base was at $9.25 a ton, and 3/4 base was at $9 a ton. Each of them at $7.65 transport for each one of those. I believe that's all.
That's 7 bids.
Yes.
And, We guess the only question I have is, bid number 2 and bid number 7, what can you confirm?
Yes, one is the West Henry plant and one is the Johnson City plant. So one on 290 east and one on 290 west. Okay, so what I would like to do with these bids, I would like to accept all bids and utilize these per precinct, depending on the, location that they're using, and have the commissioner of each precinct allowed to, Laura's staring at me.
I hope you've written it down.
No. So, each commissioner will be able to use any one of these vendors to purchase products, for their project.
Is there
I'll second that, if that's
so
all
the
right.
motion, I'll call it, award, bids, award all the bids for material received, all 7 for road projects within Blanco County for the next fiscal year 25-26. Is that your motion?
Yes, sir.
And your second
Yes, yes, sir.
discussion?
I think proximity has a lot to do with it, and based on where the job is, so
Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to item 11.
So item 11 is the concrete low water crossings in precinct 3. I have 3 bids. So these are all the water crossings on Cypress Mill Road. All of these projects.
Stack
All of these projects will be done, half at a time. That way it allows traffic to be passed through. The first, bid is from Ruiz Construction. Project number 1 comes in at $28,786.41. Project number 2 is $22,637.69. Project 3 was $35,976. Project number 4, $38,300. And project number 5 is a little sidewalk over at the fairgrounds, is $9,131.51. The second bid comes from Ben Rania Contracting. Project number 1, $44,072. Project number 2, $39,582. Project number 3, $53,019. Project number 4, $53,019. And then the fairgrounds is $18,582. The last bid is from Myers Concrete. And project number 1 is at $60,027. Project number 2, $41,289. Project number 3, $72,874. Project number 4, $76,461. And project number for fairgrounds is $15,099. So the low bid out of all 3 bids comes back to Ruiz Construction. So I make a motion to award the concrete project bids for Blanco County Precinct 3 to Ruiz Construction.
Second.
Commissioner Ryder seconds. Is there discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12. Discussion.
So I'd like to, pass on this until after our executive session.
Item 13, construction bids for McCall Creek.
All right, so bid on the first one is going to be from Available Construction. And the bid came in at $87,168. Bid number 2 came in from Myers Concrete. Their bid came out at $195,150. And bid number 3 came in from this is going to be from Joel Moore, and his bid came in at $88,700. With that being said, low bid on the project is going to be Available Construction at $87,168. I make the motion to accept the bid for $87,168 by Available Construction.
Is there a second? I'll second. Mr. Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is a replat, Commissioner Brown.
Okay, so once again, simple Rock and J replat. So I make a motion to approve replat lots of 1,245, number 1246R and 1248 in the Rock and J subdivision to be known as lot 1246RR.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Weird discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15. Resolution in support of the household household hazardous waste amendment agreement.
So we put in for the grant. I have to go before that board on the, I think it's the 17th of December to try to get this grant. So for the hazardous waste to be held sometime in 26. So I move to authorize the county judge to sign the resolution in support of the household hazardous waste cleanup event scheduled for the fall of 2026.
Is there a second? I'll say, Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Burn ban, which expires today.
Yes, sir.
Mr. McMahon, would you like to address the board? Mr. Fire Marshal?
It's my recommendation, in the opinion of the other fire chiefs in the county, to let the burn ban expire today. I believe they've received enough moisture, and there's been several people already burning. I haven't seen the latest draw index of this morning, because there's one update till 10 a.m. The northern part of the county is open water in the south, but even the south fire chief also has a recommendation to let it expire.
Do you ever have any conversations with surrounding county fire marshals or fire officials?
I do come out in Kendall County quite often. They go off a set number. They don't do opinions. They go off on a drive index of 500, if it's above 500, it's a burn ban, if it's below, it's not. So if I come out with about 500, so it's the same. Ours is tricky because the county, I mean, if you look at the average, we're right around 500, but other parts of the county are below 500, and south end of the county is above 500.
Well, Mount meets on Monday, Sunday. So they met yesterday, but as of this morning, as of the map produced, all of the counties continue to have a burn ban except Atlanta, right?
Plano, and then
When I say all the counties, I mean all the counties that touch Blanco County, all 7.
I didn't look, but I thought Barnett lifted theirs over the weekend.
Temporary.
Temporary. And then the other 3 fire chiefs see that.
These were temporary lift.
I don't know.
Put that on their social media.
Temporary, I think I've seen come out of it too, 48-hour lift, 24-hour lift, I'm not sure. I mean, they do that, I know there's rain in the forecast, for the end of the weekend. The fire departments are starting to chase currently, starting yesterday, and the day before, a lot of burning calls, because everybody's burning.
The burning during the burn ban.
They're burning during the burn ban. A lot of people are calling in, the reports and
Yeah.
they're just used to it. I mean, because the conditions are horrible right now, and we're right at that 500 range. I think by the weekend, we'll probably be below the 500 drought index number.
So you're anticipating the rain?
Yes, sir.
What about the winds?
There's wind today.
There's gonna be winds in this.
That's right, correct. That's why I converted to the 3 fire chiefs that have to chase the fires, and all 3 said let it expire. They have to chase it.
Being a rancher, and I'm out in the county, I disagree with them. So if we get wind coming in here and it starts drying out,
Yes, sir.
and we have a lot of fuel on the ground.
This is correct.
I would say let's take a look at it till the 9th, let's let it extend until the 9th, December, our next meeting.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Weir seconds.
That's not that far away.
Discussion.
Is there any thought process if this rain change does come in, how can the process, I know the judge can lift the burn ban. Is there a thought process that y'all might be working together if sufficient rain comes in that, do that?
No, we never work together.
I think you do.
I can definitely monitor if we get enough rain Sunday and Monday, reach out to the judge to talk about lifting it before the night. Because if the rain totals look like they would, we should get some end of the weekend, begin of the week.
Take into consideration, it's gonna take 3 to 5 inches of steady rain to put enough moisture in the ground to keep it from spreading. And that's only gonna last a few days if we have high wind.
And with the holidays and stuff, with a lot of folks that are around here right now, I have no idea. The rest of the year, they're living in another location like this, and places that have rain. I'm just worried about, I would just kick the can a little bit.
Further questions, further discussion? Commissioner Riley cleared his throat.
Just move on.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed? All right, it's 2-2. I'm gonna fall on the side of caution, and I didn't ask the fire marshal, I didn't mention it to the fire marshal, but here's my thinking. I would like the firefighters, and people are gonna burn whether you put burn ban on or not, that's obvious. Fire marshal just said that. But to the extent that law-abiding folks actually pay attention, I would like to give the fire crews in Round Mountain and Johnson City and Blanco an opportunity to sit down to turkey without being called out. So I'm gonna vote aye. Got all that?
Yes, Judge.
With that, we've concluded item 16 and to move back to item 5. Introduction and announcement of the new assistant county attorney.
So I know back at budget time, my office asked for and was approved for additional funds for another assistant prosecutor, and that time has come. Jack Bacon has expressed an interest in cutting his hours back and eventually retiring officially, probably in the next 3 to 4 months. And so I have hired Sonia Wright. She is an attorney that has been practicing in this county for several years. I met her through CPS work. Ms. Ashby and I have both had the opportunity to work with and against her in CPS matters. And Sonia has accepted the position, so she'll be coming on December 8th.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
We're happy to have her. We have plenty of work, and she'll be filling a lot of roles in our office. She'll be doing all work, not just focused on one area. She'll be doing the criminal CPS and everything else that our office handles. So a lot of you will get to see her pretty frequently.
While you're here, we can move that.
I'm sorry?
I was gonna say she was out of state, otherwise she would have been here today.
Yes, she's actually absent right now.
Move to item 6, grant.
Yes, so the county attorney's office, we applied for the SB 22 funds, and the purpose of that was because of the new requirements, more extensive requirements in regard to victim assistance services, and victim notification. Our office does not have a victim assistance coordinator. Someone in our office has always fulfilled that role. But now with the additional requirements for notification, more paperwork, more communication with victims, and the expanded definition of victims for purposes of notification, we have a need for someone to fulfill that role. At this time, Adele Moreland has agreed to take on the victim notification, which will require additional training, and so those SB 22 funds would provide a stipend because it's quite a bit more work. But I do see our office moving to needing to hire a victim assistance coordinator part-time. I don't anticipate those funds being used for that purpose through the end of this budget year. But that's where we will need to move eventually. And so at this time, the SB 22 funds are available for our office for that limited purpose. So
You might not anticipate it, but is this one of those situations where the right person happened to come along and fall in your lap?
yes,
You'd have the funds to do something about it.
yes, that is correct.
And also, unlike the sheriff's office where we use every single dime of the money from SB 22, the money comes in a lump sum. It's just what it is. And you are of the mindset that whatever the stipend is that you use, whatever else you might be able to apply funds to, there probably will be funds left over, and according to the SB 22 rules, you're planning to give that back to the state.
That's correct, and it is probably quite a bit of funds that our office or the county would be returning to the state for our SB 22 part of the county attorney's office. But the county attorney's office is really limited on how we can use those funds. And victim assistance coordinator is one of those designated purposes.
You have more victims, or is business good?
It is, and then with the expanded, again, definition of or requirement of notification, it used to be limited to certain types of victims, and with the new legislative update training that I attended, it was made clear that now it's all victims of all types of misdemeanors, and so that can mean a theft victim all the way up to DWI, assault, family violence. And so the notification is a good bit more extensive, and the written or electronic communication is also more extensive. And so it will be more work, it will take more time. And so we need to have someone available to handle that. It's too much for an attorney or even someone to not receive some type of stipend or someone to fulfill that position in a part-time capacity.
Deadline's the 30th of November.
I believe so,
So today's.
for signing the grant agreement, that's
So
correct,
today's our
yes.
last chance.
Yes, it is, it needs to be returned,
So you're looking for a motion so that we decide.
yes, that's correct.
So I'll make a motion to authorize the county judge to enter into the grant agreement for the Rural Law Enforcement Salary Assistance Program. Award IA 000000237 for FY 25.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Eager, discussion.
Judge is completely separate from the ones that sheriff's department.
Completely separate. There are three SB 22 pots of money. One is for county sheriff's departments, one is for county attorneys, and one is for constables. The constables, all of these are titled rural county. They're supposed to be rural county. And in the case of constables, it's again, like sheriffs is supposed to help with salaries, but our constables are paid at a rate that they do not qualify for any of the SB 22 because they are already over above that. And each pot has a little bit different language and nomenclature for how you qualify, and we just don't for the constables. And so we did for the county attorney, but this earlier, we didn't have a need for it last year, does this year. That answer your question?
Yes, it does, thank you.
Anything else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Are we set up anywhere to do the executive session?
Yes.
We set up, so the audience can stay if they so choose. All right, with that, since the item that seems to be on the table is item 12, are you intending to go into executive session to consult with the attorney or for what purpose?
To consult, yes, to consult the attorneys.
All right, it is now 9:42 a.m. The Commissioners Court will retire into executive session at this time. And going section 5.1.071 of the Government Code of the News Act, specifically consultation with an attorney with our grant. And we'll return to that session. Thank you.
Okay, I could have lived all day without knowing that. I could have not ever been.
Yes. Beans, rice. If it's not. So what is it you get? I'm so sorry. So that. Right, like budgets and stuff, but that's what that takes them out. So, yeah, so they'll have a meeting. So people say. Says it's very. I see. So if you're working in this area. Yeah, I know. But higher rate guys, they're high. So there's. Little market one. Market. A lot of market. Guys, what happened is that. I think we're coming close. Someone. So. Besides that. He started. He said, hey, you can build this fast. You can build this fast. Here's a job. So then the extra cut that. Wow. That's right. Shades. Why didn't you sell the wheat? Okay, this is the wheat. 60% of the wheat. Not only.
private, those are great. That's great. It's not illegal.
Keep on talking.
You know, there's some gray area.
But you can start to fix some bad stuff. Wow.
Because it's probably right across the public's interest. I know so many people. As long as. Now. Now, that's what he said. You know, just like I said, now that's fine, but if you just say, I want you to go, you need to look at it. He doesn't know. So, ask 10% for you. I'll add it up to the price, and you take it.
Just pray really
I
hard.
can't add
This is my
it.
story.
But there. Well, it's that's gonna be easy. So you don't see that he's approaching, or maybe this is, it looks good. If you have the general. What's his name? Yeah, in general, they should be to so just for another. So you know, this is problems.
And they'll pay for that.
Oh, yes.
Privatization. schools, day schools, and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the, I've seen that. That he has to see.
This is a picture that. Once the first meeting is correct. This was the comment on this. All the countries that we covered. Yes, all the countries that forgot. Yeah, so what do you do? That's great, and much resources. Soil is so rich, you put your hand in the soil, pick it out something. So. Cold, sleepy, whatever is there. Anyway, for all that, you want to appreciate it. So. Yeah, point.
And July is that.
Commodity, porque passou para o bem. Yeah, there is a movement there, plus Ivory Coast had a very big, main port for West Africa. So. That port is home. That's how they can be a lot of drugs in Africa. So.
Yeah.
This is a big background. 500. This is just where they're looking for all the training. I try to source it in the US. Just got it from Turkey. It's everywhere, it's just. Go nuts. My friend, there is some sort of important from around. That's go. So. It's taking 50 kilos of the congo. Hydrogen. Stack it there. So you need a license from one. We go there. It's easy to move. There's. You send it. Of course, they just tell us. So shit over there. That show. And those are the issues if you really get closer to the source. So medicine drug with the suits and whatnot, and they go after because it's sad. So RPG struck is really that was fun. Competition. I get all the magnets. I do the explosives. It's not special. Defensive handle. I did offers all the time. Now you want to work. Flying here, driving there, and you come back. From driving. Not the food, not it's same amount of.
Yeah.
That's why.
It just doesn't how many hour drive, just don't up there 15-hour drive. Yeah. And that's the worst leaves. He, just really got mutual friends. She's a friend and then a girlfriend. She came out with some other people and then we were there. Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. Stop over. Even it was when my family was still with us. And he told me, he said, so that is so excruciating, what's painful. You don't touch it. You have to work for 6 weeks. And then it happened on it occasionally, but it's still, it's rough, but it's still straight. It's not, it's like, I can't picture you.
They went to Albania, it's a true story. They went to Albania, they had Japanese animation, they had to repackage it, to make it. The one specifically Russian ammunition,
made in Russia, so they said they had this, I went to Albania, the Chinese and repackaged it, Russian boxes. And sent it, but the problem was that they get caught. When you repackage, the repackaging process, the cardboard, costs $20,000. And they didn't want to pay. They're like, fuck you, I'm not paying you the $40,000. The guy for the cardboard boxes went to the FBI, turned the case down, $300 million contract. $200 million, they didn't want to pay $20,000. And that's what fucked them up. Unbelievable.
I'm still trying to get you I know, I
Wasn't the one, was the president. Wasn't the Paris. It was a weird spot.
Yeah, she's been married now for years, and she's still has. I don't have mom and dad's and they
Yes.
they moved to us. Well, actually, from the house, but they moved really back to the house in June. And then they came 3 times.
I just need a break that stays. Because the plane's in bad shape. The plane is in bad shape. And then the pilot stopped
Oh my
working.
God.
So, I said.
You do. It's like, oh, why is this, there's a different, this is so easy tough.
This is, airport news. They didn't even have a control tower. So the pilot comes, and then once he's over the airport, he needs to get permission. If he has permission, if no, so is the runway free? Yes, okay. The runway isn't free.
That's fine.
Wow.
I
No schedule.
determine it by.
We used to come off the plane. We had
It's probably.
this or sometimes military vehicles that they have contracted this. From the plane, it's very good. On the roadway, because when you come on the plane, then we'll take you to the roadway, on the plane, so commercial plane.
It's the truth.
Or Ethiopia.
You look so good when you try to, I like it, we discussed it.
Anything I want to do was. No check.
He's only very, she's only very clean cut.
That's what I forgot to say. Yeah. You know what it is? This is that.
And there's the admin. If you're gonna have to go. Somebody. Y'all two be safe out there.
No, but if you drive down the street.
December the 9th, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna.
Even the,
I don't think 4:30 you will get your own.
Okay,
Okay, because I know we had volleyball, you know, back and forth, and I've got volleyball. So like, because I'm gonna go up on these box.
It's okay. It's not
Okay,
bad.
I think you have to be agree.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't think you can find a whole six. Okay, so 3 by 5 is what our five would be, okay, because I told Camille, I said I would like to, because I've worked with Kathy. Since I started, like, she and Camille, Kermit, and me are the longest tenured employees. And so I told Camille, I said, Kathy was really special to me and helped me a lot back then, so I would like boxes, I think. Camille and I were doing my box work, so yeah, we had 3 by 5, 3 by 5, that would be 5 by 5. Okay. It'll come with a certificate. I don't know, in a frame. Yeah, we'll do a frame. Yeah, then we'll do a frame, just because that'll be my gift to her, is that certificate. Anyway, so, okay. I'm gonna go with the first thing Friday morning. Usually for Doug, we say, the kids all coming in for the holidays. Yeah, they're coming after this weekend. That's Sunday night, 11 o'clock, and I usually work Friday off. Oh. It's two high school, 2 in middle school. Single mom. Yeah, and then with his stroke.
We all be here.
Y'all too, tell Vicky not to call me.
Stressful. Yeah.
Okay, you can all get 3 cherries. Okay, never mind. There's a little bit of it.
The other one faces?
Huh?
The other one faces?
No.
That's what we want to do with flags. It's actually narrow. Somebody. So that's, thank God, that's why they put one of those metal beams. So they go boxing. Yeah. Why is it such a rush here? Wait, she got clear. Her case, here, her case over there, and then. Because they thought she was in jail here, because when we started this, was been on. And then the pet's like, no, she's not here, she's in Colorado. That's when he got scrambled. Yeah, so you hadn't sent me the bench warrant signed yesterday, so I had no email to him. And my parents, so, and I can't print. I think I'll make it, you want. It didn't come through until 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I figured you had, but I had him send it to me, and then I hand file stamped it in, and then certified it. And I scanned it and had it download. I mean, it was, I got a laundry list of stuff when Chris comes back to my office, I think I have to work on. But it was working fine when I left here Thursday. I had issues all day this year with the computer. Okay, they're back.
Y'all are the ones that gotta keep walking over that, somebody's gonna fall.
10:19 in the Blanco County Commissioners Court returns to open meeting, having concluded deliberation in its executive session with no action being taken while in executive session. And at this point, we will return to item 12.
So with that being said, I'd like to invite, Dr. County 354 to come to the podium. Morning. Morning. So I know in our previous conversations, we talked about the road basically, and that's my discussion today is about the road. And in my opinion, this road is designed for public use. It's a privately owned, public use road. So with that being said, that does not qualify your subdivision or the division of land that you're proposing in these drawings that I see, to meet the exemption. So give me your feedback on that.
My name is David Gallia. I'm representative, managing member of Doctrines 354. Yes, sir. GEDALIA. I'm just a little bit curious as to why you don't consider the city private. How you make that
Multiple people, residents live down that road. You're gonna have, let's say, trash trucks. You're gonna have maybe a school bus. Maybe the person at the end of the road has a big party and invites a lot of people out there. The person in front of the property don't like.
So to address that, that's still a private road. If I, for instance, ask for a piece of mail to be delivered, I'm giving the post office right to come onto private property. Right, that's actually the term for it, but it's right by.
Here's the logic, like it or not, I understand, and I think you do not agree. But we have addressed this before in Southeast Blanco County, very similar situation. And I have said in an open meeting, my logic, that let's just accept that you're not going to agree with me. I could have some sort of PTSD condition and just hate one of the delivery companies, FedEx, DHS, whatever. And I don't want to see that truck going down my road because it's my road. But it's also Joe's road across the street and Jane's road down the street. And if Joe or Jane want to have FedEx delivered, they have every right, they have equal rights to have that done. If they have equal rights, it's no longer my private road. The private road is from my gate to my house. That's our logic. You don't agree, and I get that.
That's a private agreement. That's an agreement between two entities, two individuals, three individuals, five individuals that agree under contract that easement, that private easement. So you don't want to agree to let somebody on.
So have they agreed to all possibilities?
It's a private easement between two or multiple.
Have they agreed in that private easement to all possibilities of traffic coming through, all possibilities? Everything that could possibly be contemplated, have they agreed to that in this clause you're talking about?
Judge Bray, Chris Walika, I'm one of the attorneys for the developer.
And you're with?
Jackson Walker. And Your Honor, I think that legally speaking, if parties have agreed to an easement, then yes, they've agreed to memorialize the terms of that relationship in that easement.
And I'm asking, within the memorialization, did they contemplate all possible contingencies of traffic coming up and down that way?
Well, and I would say, not trying to avoid your question, but I think the proper answer is the limits or the scope or it expands or limitations of that easement would be contained within the easement. And typically,
I understand that, but you have read the easement, you may have drawn the easement, but I have not even seen the easement. And I'm going to go back to my first example. Does the easement say that this agreement that he says is now between the owners of the property, you haven't actually sold the property yet, have you? That the agreement between them says, if I have a particular problem with FedEx, I can prevent FedEx from coming down the road. Does it say that?
one individual,
Yes, sir.
I doubt it. I doubt that there's.
So it's the collective. If the collective doesn't want FedEx, if the collective, however many lots there are, they want to vote and say, we don't want FedEx down this road ever, they put a sign at the front gate to the highway that says, no FedEx, no how, no way. So, right?
Arguably, yes, but I think that we're kind of moving afield of the issue, which is, I understand the concern and the disagreement of, is this a private road or is this a public road? But my client has agreed, and we've had discussions with the engineer to make certain accommodations to the road to make sure that it can be accessible and addressing safety issues. And so without tagging this with it's a public road or a private road, I think we can meet the concerns of the commission.
But you can't, because while you're meeting the concerns of a commissioner or the commissioner's court or subdivision regulations about how the road is to be built, you are not meeting that word public. You're not meeting our concern about that word public. That's where we stand. Because if it is a public road, then it falls under the subdivision regulations and requires you to plat it, even if it's 10 acres, because it's a public road. And we just can't get past that logjam. That you don't agree it's a public road, and we're insistent that it is.
Is it on
Because there's
private
no
property?
way that, and I don't want to belabor this, because I think I'm probably talking to a brick wall, but there's no way that I can buy a lot in your subdivision, and I can stop the neighbors from having a party with people I hate. I can't even, and I certainly can't stop fire and EMS from coming up the road because I don't like the noise they make. I mean, I can go on and on with infinite number of examples, because that's why I was asking the trick question of, does your agreement among your landowners prevent all possible, or address all possible, because there's no way to address all possible contingencies. Because there's lots and lots of people that are gonna come up and down that road that I might or might not like, and there's nothing I can do about it. If I buy a lot in your subdivision, it's as simple as that. If that's the case, it's no different than if they're driving down the county road or the state highway. There's a lot of people I don't like driving down those either, but they get to. So it's a public road, and that's where I stand, and I believe that's where most of the court stands. So we need to get to the next stage of, what are you going to do? Are you going to apply for plat approval? Are you going to, and if you're not, then the next thing we need to address is, what is your next step? Because if you want to just move forward and stand on a 10-acre exception, it would be nice if we do that, because that would force us to have to take action.
Real quick, I do, just, this is a little baffling to me, and just out of curiosity, is it typical that the public, in this instance, the county interfering in standard private business matters that are between entities consenting adults?
Yeah, my answer to that question
I'm just
is,
curious.
okay, my answer to that question is,
At what point do you guys?
I'll answer you when you're ready. Let me know. Okay. My answer is, the local government code chapter 232 says that counties, not Blanco County, counties can regulate the development of property under this, that, and the other. So in answer to your question, yes, the county does have legal authority to have a say as property is sold, subdivided, and developed.
So, Judge Bray, is your question, what is our next step in light of the commission, this court deciding not to approve? Or,
Well, what is there to approve right now?
well, the proposal that I believe is before you in measure 12 is just to allow the development of the,
So I've been misinformed. I was led to believe there's no application.
It's not for the lot development, it's to the, what's the affidavit of, that you guys denied the.
Affidavit of land location.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
So,
to approve, or that affidavit of land location.
so you have an affidavit of land location. You presented it to a commission.
No,
No, we haven't presented to the commission, we presented it to the county. County, I think.
Okay. You presented it to Ms. Harrison. What has she communicated back to you? Anything?
Do you remember what, Connie, you said that you could sign off on it without the commission's approval, I believe.
Right. So here's, if that's what she conveyed to you, then I think I know where we are in this process now. If a commissioner and the county judge sign off, it's approved. If the commissioner and the county judge are reluctant to sign off for some reason, it can go, and apparently now is before, the affidavit of land location is now before the commissioner's court. I'm not sure that other commissioners have seen it yet, so I suspect I don't know. I won't be surprised if one of them says, well, I haven't even got a chance to look at this yet, so I'm not ready to vote on it. But they might be, and we can vote on it today if you want, but I think that's the action that you're saying is teed up, is for us to either approve or disapprove your affidavit of land location as a body.
Correct. Yeah, I think we had a little disconnect at the beginning. We're not asking for approval of development because we feel like we're exempt. We did as a courtesy, we wanted to work with you guys on, showing, hey, look, we are building a road that is fairly nice, is wide enough to accommodate fire, EMS.
Indulge me for a second. So suppose that the court, I think Commissioner Leesman and I think I know where our vote's going to be. Suppose the other three people don't vote to approve the affidavit of land location, or whatever the vote might be, but suppose it doesn't happen. Then what?
well, I believe I need to regroup with my client, with the entire group and discuss, do we want to take a different route with this court, or do we want to take a different route with the district court?
When you say the entire group, that's the Balcones.
Plan, correct.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
This entity is not on 351 LLC.
You're managing.
I'm one of the two of the three management.
There's managing members and there's other members.
Yeah, there's investors, but we're the managing members of that.
I'm asking, we're trying to get a head start. I'm asking in case we're going to go into litigation, how many people have to be served, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, myself and others.
Who's that?
Chris Horn.
Chris.
Horn, HORNE.
And
Eric Denton, ARIC, DENTON.
DENTO?
Yes, sir.
Denton. I think I guess the question is really to Commissioners Riley, Eaker, and Ritter, if they are open to taking action on your request to approve the affidavit of land location. Or not to, and by that I mean just open to taking it up. I don't care you vote, but or not take it up today.
Look, I need a chance to look at it and study it a little bit.
a little blindsided by it, I have to look at it too. And see what has happened, I have no idea what type of road y'all are building out there. I haven't seen anything that you are building, you haven't offered us anything to show the road, show me, you know, you say you don't have to show us a plat, well, show us a design. Show us a road that's a safe road. Show us something that's not 30 feet wide, you know, that's not gravel that y'all do every other year. Just right now, I don't know that.
So we actually discussed this with Ron, Bischoff.
Right.
And I believe he made a proposal that we've agreed to work with him on for testing, time, which I believe for the most part meets or exceeds county staff. So that had been discussed and been worked on. I'm a little blindsided that hasn't been, sent to you and hasn't been discussed with y'all, had discussions.
So y'all hired his firm to work with y'all outside of the county. I mean, he's helping y'all design this road. Is that what it is?
No. He's looking at the design standards the county requires or asks for, and that we submit that they're minimum.
And to clarify, Commissioner Weir, we approached him and met with him to try and ensure that we could meet whatever county specs will require for the road. So it was a collaborative effort to say, we can do this to your standard, regardless of whether we think we're exempt.
Well, let me ask you this, because our standards are there, you can get on the internet and say, I mean, imagine y'all probably review them. You see what we require. And my question to you is, even if it is a private road, why wouldn't you do the right thing and build that? Why wouldn't you build something that was safe for the people that might live there? And that's the way I look at it. We've got future constituents, future residents for Blanco County that are gonna be living there. And I've got 3 or 4 subdivisions in my precinct where people are calling me saying, why did y'all allow this to happen? They can't get in and out of their properties, and I can show you, I can put you in my truck and take you out there and show you what was allowed to happen back in the 70s and stuff.
So this
This
is a dialogue between all of us, but I'd kind of like to be here just a minute and have a discussion with Commissioner Weir, because he's now focused on the road and whether it's a safe road or not a safe road. And I want to make sure that we're clear on that. I guess that's a discussion to be had. And perhaps that will allow you, Commissioner, and some commissioners to approve the update of the plan location if you're convinced that the road is safe. But to do that, you're going to have to rationalize that it is not a public road.
I agree with that.
Well, I mean, because you're bringing the safety aspects of it, and that is an issue, but if safe or not safe or unsafe, I can show you some state highways that are too safe, but safe or unsafe, the question that I thought we were all on the same page about is when you have lots designed the way those lots are designed, it's public road.
And I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with what
And
you
I don't want
the way you're
to
explaining it.
I don't want to mislead them to think they can do a 61-foot wide
Yeah.
paved road with all kinds of yellow stripes, white columns, and everything else, and they're good to go, because it's not private. That's our issue.
I got you.
Do I understand the board to be saying that you're not prepared to take action on the item?
That's what I heard from at least 2 commissioners.
Yes.
I'm in the same boat, same here.
Which, you know, we could do a formal motion I lay it on the table to move it to another date, extend it to another date, or we can just let it pass and put it on the next agenda, which is probably December the 9th.
So would you like us to provide you any recommendations or something specific you're asking from me or the developers?
So what have you provided, Ms. Harrison?
We provided an application plan location. We submitted a site plan, not a preliminary plat, not a preliminary plat. A plat for the records department.
Right, we call it filing plat.
Final plat. We have Yeah, we had a couple discussions. We have a tentative agreement with Ron Bishop's and the company, Doucette for the engineering, testing, and distribution of that road construction design. She's agreed to provide the services, I believe, on behalf of the city, but at our expense.
So what were you wanting to see?
What I mean, if, whether it's a public road, I still would like to see how it's designed. I mean, I would like to, and I know you might not agree with me, but there's such a thing as drainage studies and stuff like that. They're pretty important.
So there was a drainage study done. We have to all crossings, maybe 50 there, not 25. And I just want to give you from ours, but what I was trying to have a discussion, explanation here is we plan to do a lot of business in the city plan code. That's what we meant for many years to come. And our goal is always to provide a high quality project. And I'm trying to remember this one, like the 70s, 50s, and 30s. I see county roads here that don't meet your own standard. I mean, my business partner lives on one. And I'm to the county rush now to go make it to county standard. So, and that's public, a true public road.
Well, while it's equally their responsibility and their fault, I have two opponents right now for a primary, and they're most interested in reducing taxes. So it's a little hard to rush out, as you say, and fix anything when you're strapped for money. And Lincoln County has always operated on a pretty conservative.
Right, and I understand that, and it's just. But what I was kind of addressing there is that our goal is to provide a safe road for the private use of the people we're selling constantly. As a developer, I don't want to be sued down the road because of something that we could have prevented. You know, at least provide a bare minimum that is acceptable for, you know, most people to say, hey, yeah, this is quality of life, a good one.
And my question is why not do the fire suppression? Why not go ahead and do the, we're already talking about the proper road, we beat that horse. But go ahead and follow your plat, go ahead and follow the rules and regulations and do all that. Why, if you want to do that, then why not go ahead and follow our rules and regs and just be done with it?
So the fire suppression, which is a no-brainer, we believe that's actually a smart idea. And it actually helps our potential buyers. Okay. From an insurance standpoint, you know, there's fire suppression, those things matter. So, again, the question, the difference is we are exempt from those regulations based on state law.
And we appreciate there's a fundamental disagreement there, but what if I understand this board correctly, this item's going to be tabled or shelved and revisited, and it sounds like at least some of the commissioners would like more substantiation and supplemental information about how exactly the roads are going to be designed, and we'd be happy to provide that.
Correct.
All right.
Let me just to work with you all and just be open. Not trying to conceal anything. I think there's always a middle ground to be found, which dispute. Dispute, I think this is how to do that.
So here's the problem. I agree with you, you know. This middle ground is great. But the problem is we have a fundamental dispute without a word about how it applies to this situation. And I wanted to share with you, I suspect your attorney may have already had this conversation with you, but I want you to be clear and understand that we don't want to be in this situation. We want one of the other 253 counties to be the first one to litigate this. But among the counties, I think the general sentiment is somebody's going to have to be first, and it may be us. And I think we have what to do do that if we have to and take the expense on to find out is what you have a public road or is it not a public road? Because it's going to apply to a whole lot of situations all around the state.
Understood. Good, I believe the December 9th date was tossed out, is that? We can get this back on the agenda.
I believe the court made the determination already that that's the only meeting we have in December. But if not, they will, suspect they will be making that determination, so yes, December.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Chris, bringing me his